Hi everyone, my name's Nikki. It's my dog Maisie. A couple months ago, I started a blog on Tumblr to raise awareness for spinal injuries and discomfort of the spine because a lot of people seem to discredit it as just being whiny or just simply complaining for the sake of doing it. No. My purpose with the Tumblr was to raise awareness for people who are afraid to get themselves checked out. For a long time, I was 12 years old when I had an injury figure skating, and as a result, I injured myself. I fell on a step on my tailbone. That's Max. And over the course of many years, I ignored the back pain. And, I was in marching band and 4-H, all rigorous things that require lots of moving and pulling and just a lot of exercise. So, in doing so, I seemed to make myself worse. Well, eventually the pain became unbearable. It was excruciating. So, I kind of swept the issue under the rug because I really didn't want to hear what was wrong with me. I had already known that I inherited scoliosis from my father, and that was bad enough. So eventually my boyfriend convinced me to just get it looked at, figure out what the problem was, and see if we could fix it. Well, as it turned out, I was diagnosed with lumbar spinal stenosis, which is just where your disc is being compressed between your vertebrae, and doing so, it becomes flatter, and it compresses your spinal cord, closing it off. So this was in my L4, L5 lumbar vertebrae, which is towards the small of your back, just a couple vertebrae up from your tailbone. And it was closing it off. And as a result, I was in agony for a very long time. And, it would send pain down my left leg until it would tingle and eventually go numb. So that was pretty scary news for me to find out. And what I did to deal with the pain was I saw a pain specialist here in Kentucky, interventional pain specialist. They really did, they gave me a lot of help. Excuse me, I just ate dinner, so I'm a little gassy. That's odd to know. But to treat my pain was a little extreme for some people, but I was able to handle it. They gave me epidural steroid injections. Now, everybody knows what an epidural is. It's what pregnant women choose to have when they're in labor. Well, this is a little different. Instead of receiving pain medication or, blocking off a certain point of the spine from the waist down, they insert a steroid instead that takes the swelling from the disc off. And so your spinal cord depresses and all of the nerve endings open up and you're not in pain anymore. Well, eventually that stopped working for me. So my doctor said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a partial laminectomy, which is, stay still. They went in, I laid on my belly on a surgical table. I was completely unconscious, mind you. I was put under anesthesia. And they went into the affected area and they took out part of my disc, not the whole thing. So, and filed off some bone spurs that they noticed and treated some arthritis that had been there. Mind you, I was a figure skater for 9 years, so my lower body was worked to an why are you whining? Was worked to an extreme. He's being nosy. And for a while, it seemed okay. I was out of work for 3 months. And that was awful. I'm a very high energy person and I like to be doing things all the time. So being stuck at home to heal was bad for me. I hated it. And eventually I got to go back to work in August. That was good for me. I was really excited to get working again and make my own money because I was mooching off my poor boyfriend. God bless him. He really was my pillar of strength through that entire process. Last Thursday, though, I went back to my surgeon because I see him every now and I see him like every month or two to follow up about the surgery, see how I'm doing in progress. And I've been having some pain again. It's been returning the way it used to before my disc eventually herniated. See, it had herniated. So he looked at x-rays that I had taken a month ago, and come to find out that while my disc is healing up fine, my vertebrae on each side of the disc, they're splaying out. So the back of my vertebrae is pinching together, and the outside of the vertebrae is spreading apart. So imagine it like opening up a toy box. And I don't really have anywhere to set my camera. Here, try that. It's on my legs. That's weird. Okay, let's do it like this. So imagine you're in it's a toy box, you know, your disc is right here. Your vertebrae are supposed to be like this. I can't get a good angle, okay? And mine are starting to do this. See, and my intestines are over here, and this is the outside of my body, and it's pinching off what's remaining of my disc, resulting in that pain that I used to have. So what my doctor suggested that we do is we monitor it, see how it, see if it's continuing to get worse, or if I'm, ow, he's pulling on my hair, or if it's getting better. So I'm hoping for getting better, because if it gets worse, then I'll have to have surgery again to have hardware put in. Mind you, I'm 24 years old. That's a very scary conclusion for me. But you know, if it's what has to be done, it has to be done. So, you know, the basic point of my Tumblr blog is to just record my experience, which I did after my surgery and everything. I recorded how I experienced the recovery period, how I handled it, but I eventually started feeling better, so I kind of just slacked off and eventually stopped, which I'm going to get back into it, though. The entire purpose of it is just to show people that you can't be afraid of what's wrong with you. If you feel like something's not right, you need to get it taken care of before it progresses to a point that it's irreversible. I do regret that I never went and saw my doctor sooner. Had I done so, I probably wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in, where I have to live from painkiller to painkiller. Now I'm on a cocktail of Percocets, methocarbamol, which is a muscle relaxer to stop my muscle spasms, which happens, and tizanidine, which is also a muscle relaxer to calm my muscles down when they spasm, and it in turn makes me sleepy. And I'm on an antidepressant, because when you're stuck at home, or when you're in a lot of pain, you just become completely reclusive and you lose yourself in your own head. And I guess just somewhere over the course of the summer and parts of the fall, I eventually became depressed. There were a couple of other factors that added up into that, but I won't get into that because it's not relevant to the blog. So, yeah, you know, just if you have issues with your spine, if it hurts when you walk, or if you sit, or if you notice that it pops too much, if it's dull, if it's achy, if it's sharp, if it's prolonged, if it never stops, go to your doctor and get it checked out. Find a specialist, find someone to get it taken care of now, because let me tell you, I'm 24 years old and I'm already missing part of my spine, and I might have to have hardware put in. It's a very scary reality for me, but because I decided to put it off, this is kind of what I have to do now. See, I have him here. He makes me feel better. Say hi, Max. So yeah, I'm gonna get back into doing my blog more. I'm gonna make more videos. I'm gonna post a GoFundMe link, which I'll put in the text of my Tumblr blog. My hours at work got cut from, 32 hours a week to 22 to 14 to 7 hours a week. Now I'm only working 1 day a week. And while my boyfriend does work, we can't make a living off just his, income. And I only make it $8.75 an hour every 2 weeks. So any help is appreciated. I hate asking for it, because Granted, I'm a humble person and I always say thank you, and I'm very appreciative of any help that I receive, but it's just, I guess it's a smack to my pride, you could say, but that's what got me in the mess in the first place. So, I'm going to post that link. If you're able to donate, thank you. I really appreciate it. It goes towards my bills, and, you know, if anything goes wrong with these guys, which nothing really ever does, but, you know, anything's possible when you have silly dogs like this giant here. So thank you for watching my video. I know I got it to 10.5 minutes. I'm sorry I talked a lot, but it's important information that I think people need to know and they need to hear. Don't be afraid. Get it taken care of and live a healthy life. Yeah, bye. Say bye, Max. Yeah, bye, Maisie. She's... Bye. Bye, guys.